The surprising transformation of Justin Baldoni. He was almost a star athlete until his hamstring stole that dream. Believe it or not, Justin Baldoni originally saw himself sprinting across soccer fields instead of Hollywood sets. In his teen years, he was tearing it up in track and soccer, confident he'd go pro one day.
It's such an incredible sport. I mean, wars stop for soccer.
He even snagged a partial scholarship to Cal State Long Beach. But in a twist of fate, a hamstring injury put a swift end to that path, forcing him to reevaluate what he wanted to do with his life. The multi-talent later told fans on X, formerly Twitter, that although he's no longer in the game, he's still a soccer player at heart. If you're side-eyeing that claim, just check out any of his shirtless scenes. Clearly, the man never stopped prioritizing fitness. Still, you gotta wonder if the physical discipline from all those years of sports gave him the grit to conquer Hollywood. After all, he said losing his athletic future fueled him to find something else he could excel at. Turns out that something else was, well, everything from acting and directing to DJing and writing books. From Just in Case, the radio DJ, to dreaming big in LA. Before Justin ever stepped in front of a camera, he found his showbiz footing talking into a mic at a Medford, Oregon radio station. He was 16, running a weekend midnight shift for a local program meant to expose teens to potential careers. He even had a DJ persona, Just in Case, with a slogan declaring he had the perfect face for radio. Let's be real, the face turned out perfect for TV too, but back then, he was just excited to get on air. Soon he graduated to daytime segments, pre-recorded since he was still in high school. Perks of that teen DJ gig? He got to introduce Coolio in concert, swaggering around the stage yelling, "Gangsta's Paradise Forever!" He later told Uproxx that it remains one of his favorite shows. Ultimately, while the radio job gave him a taste for performing, Justin wanted more. He wanted to be on camera, to act. So once his athletic track ended, he hopped on the next bus to LA to chase acting roles. The rest is a surprisingly winding path from small soap parts to big-time directorial stints. He started his career in soaps, notably The Young and the Restless. Justin Baldoni's official acting debut came in 2004 with a cameo on The Young and the Restless. He played a dude named Ben over 3 episodes, which might not sound glamorous, but hey, for a rookie, landing a soap is a big deal. And this was just the start. Over the next few years, he stacked up appearances in The Bold and the Beautiful, where he portrayed some morally shady guy named Graham, and had a recurring gig on Everwood as a med student. Later, of course, he soared into mainstream fame as Rafael Solano in Jane the Virgin. But he credits soaps for teaching him discipline. In a chat with Soaps, Justin marveled at the breakneck pace, how you have to memorize pages and pages of lines daily. It's a type of on-the-job training many actors have used as a springboard. He's forever grateful, but apparently all that hustle also sparked a deeper craving to take more control behind the scenes. My Last Days was a raw docuseries that changed his direction. A major turning point in Justin's career came in 2012 when he directed My Last Days, a YouTube docuseries spotlighting terminally ill individuals living life to the fullest. Inspiration struck after his uncle was diagnosed with lung cancer, leaving Justin rethinking mortality and purpose. The series was a smash, logging millions of views and, at one point, making it one of YouTube's most watched docs. People couldn't help but tear up at the heartfelt stories, like the leukemia patient who refused to let his illness hold him back from mud runs. It also proved Justin had a knack for behind-the-camera storytelling. He's credited that show for opening his eyes to how powerful vulnerability can be. Telling these emotional stories sparked a thirst in him to produce meaningful content that blends humanity and positivity. In essence, My Last Days paved the path for future directorial endeavors, from romantic tearjerkers to big box office adaptations. It was also one reason he stepped behind the camera for various philanthropic projects and later authored books about leading a more open-hearted life. He proposed in the most over-the-top way possible. Justin Baldoni might not have soared as an athlete, but if there's an Olympic gold for extra marriage proposals, the man's taking it home. In 2012, he posted a 27-minute YouTube video capturing how he popped the question to his girlfriend Emily, now Emily Baldoni. He basically tricked her into thinking she was meeting him at Blue Jam Cafe, the site of their first date, only for her to be greeted by a comedic short film starring him. Then came lip-sync battles, a flash mob, and cameo appearances from his buddies. By the end, Justin showed up in person, ring in hand, telling Emily she'd changed his life forever. Before dropping to one knee, she unbelievably said yes. Some folks might have been terrified. The video went viral, racking millions of views and stirring a debate. Was it the sweetest romantic gesture ever, or borderline self-indulgent? Some fans loved seeing Justin's flamboyant side, but cynics found it a bit all about Justin. The clip's still floating around the internet for those who want a refresher on how big going viral with your proposal was in the early 2010s. Since then, Emily's joked about it being both adorable and insane. You either swoon or cringe. There's not much middle ground. But hey, they're married with kids, so presumably it worked. Co-founding Wayfarer Studios to tell meaningful stories. Around 2013, Justin set his sights big by co-founding Wayfarer Entertainment, later rebranded as Wayfarer Studios, with Steve Sarowitz. The aim was to produce uplifting, socially conscious content. That meant everything from docuseries about the homeless community to big narrative films. One of their philanthropic hits, the Skid Row Carnival of Love, roped in big hearts from across LA to serve the homeless population. Under Wayfarer, Justin's team has churned out a variety of projects, some big, some small, but all leaning on that mission of doing good. They also collaborated on major theatrical releases like It Ends With Us, and at the same time championed short films or docuseries highlighting marginalized voices. Justin told Forbes that he wants to treat people differently, emphasizing compassion over cold business logic. Sure, it's a brand, but it's also how he apparently tries to run the place. Critics might roll eyes at the hyper-earnest vibe, but there's no denying it sets Wayfarer apart in a cutthroat Hollywood environment. Jane the Virgin was a game-changer for him. Justin Baldoni's real star moment as an actor came in 2014, courtesy of the CW's comedic telenovela Jane the Virgin. He played the often shirtless Rafael Solano, whose complicated relationship with Jane, Gina Rodriguez, basically fueled half the show's drama. The character soared from a questionable hotel owner to a reformed father figure, capturing fans' hearts. In the 5th season, Justin even directed an episode titled Chapter 78, exploring yet another side of his artistry. He's thanked Jane the Virgin countless times for teaching him comedic timing and giving him a stable platform. Before that, his resume was mostly bit parts and soap gigs. Now, fans recognized him on the street as the hot baby daddy. The show ended in 2019, but for Justin, it was just the beginning. Freed from the day-to-day filming schedule, he launched full speed into bigger directing projects. He wrote books, directed box office smashes, and hit a goldmine with It Ends With Us. Proving he's not one to rest on his laurels, Justin decided to dip his toes into self-help and personal growth. In 2021, he released his first book, Man Enough: Undefining My Masculinity, an expansion of the themes he tackled in his online talk show Man Enough. The premise? Encouraging men to embrace vulnerability and shed toxic norms. A year later, he published Boys Will Be Human, aimed at the preteen crowd. Some folks found his approach refreshing. Others rolled their eyes, calling it sanctimonious. But hey, it definitely got people talking. Meanwhile, as a film director, Justin took on 5 Feet Apart in 2019. This heartfelt romantic drama, starring Cole Sprouse and Haley Lou Richardson as 2 cystic fibrosis patients, earned nearly $100 million globally, proving he could helm a major tearjerker. Then came 2024, when he scored an even bigger success with the big screen adaptation of Colleen Hoover's bestseller, It Ends With Us. The film's worldwide earnings, topping $300 million, were massive for a romantic drama, higher than many predicted. The story starred Blake Lively and Justin himself in a twisty, emotional love triangle. For a while, critics praised him for delivering a moving flick, but soon everything overshadowed the success. An avalanche of controversies behind the scenes, accusations, suits, you name it, suddenly overshadowed all that box office glory. Blake claimed Justin had overstepped boundaries, improvising intimate scenes that made her uneasy. Justin insisted Blake was the controlling one, rewriting scripts and overshadowing him. The fiasco turned so messy, fans questioned whether "It Ends With Us 2" would ever happen. All that drama ironically echoes the heartbreak-laden stories he's so good at directing on screen. What did you guys think of my list? Let me know in the comments if I missed anything, and I hope you have a great day!